Figured do a fun surprise TikTok live and YouTube live. Well, actually they really help a lot of time go by quick. So we'll see how it goes. So I will do this combined live and see who needs support out there, see who needs some love out there, see who is struggling, and go from there. If you guys can't hit the like and subscribe button, hit it. Hi Lily, hi Brooke, hi TikTok people. How are you? I haven't done a live in a little bit. It feels like forever that I haven't done a live, but I figured I'd do a Q&A live and see who I can give support to and anything out there. Well, what's up, Topaz? Hi, Corbin. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Howling. Hi, Septic. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Rose. Hi, Billy. Hi, Michael. Hi, everybody. If you guys are on TikTok, I do a lot of YouTube lives. So if you click my profile, you'll see my YouTube channel. Easier to help. You've helped me. I'm glad, Rose. What's up, Emily? So I'm going to try and bounce between both of the chats and just see who's struggling out there and who needs some support, and what kind of tools and stuff that I can maybe offer. Just I've been going through a lot, and it's helped me out a lot of like reaching out for support. I'm in good, Charlotte. Thank you. Had a panic attack, feel like crap now, dude. I get it. Panic attacks will beat your ass. They really will. Panic attacks are extremely exhausting. What's up, Wolf? If you need help and you're in the TikTok live, feel free to jump over to YouTube. It's easier for me to control that chat than it is the TikTok live chat. So I figured I would help throw some advice out there. Need your advice? What do you need, Rose? Here for you. Always manage to pronounce names right. Thank you, Tobaz. Dude, I'm horrible at pronouncing names right. I've gotten better, but I've got insomnia. Insomnia is a pain. Hi, Carrie. Insomnia is a nightmare. A lot of times people don't get that insomnia isn't just the ability not to sleep. It's that prolonged period of no sleep, and it just beats you up. How do you deal with depression? Support, meds, goals, passions, journaling, finding out what your triggers are. There's a lot that goes into depression. I wish there was like quick, like fix it all pills for depression and anxiety, and there's not. What's up, Sophie? You're on Xanax and Adderall. Jared, I am too. That is one of the unique combinations out there. It's not you're wearing the shirts. Julie, have you worn them on TikTok? If you've worn them on TikTok, I got to make sure and go back through and duet. How do you feel not worthless? If you're on TikTok, jump over to YouTube. It's easier for me to answer questions. You're a BAM. I love it. Thank you, Charlotte. The exam stressing you out. Should I do? Take your time, practice, study. You haven't messed up when you're clean. I just saw that on TikTok. You haven't messed up when you're clean. Trust me. I've messed up before, and it's learning experiences. What's up, psychopathic? I think depression, but have depression. No one believes me. I mean, if nobody believes you when it comes to depression, a lot of it goes into telling your family and talking to your family about it, being open about it. I found that the best thing that you can do is share and talk about what you're going through. The more that we share, bam, badass motherfucker. Made it through 100% of your worst days. Make it through 2 today. What's up, Annie? Hey, Allie. The day's going good. I mean, when it comes to depression, when it comes to anxiety, sharing about it and talking about it helps empower you by it a lot. We sometimes play the not the victim role, but we beat ourselves down and we look for these easy, quick solutions that just aren't there when it comes to this shit. And so it's hi Flix, hi Lucy, hi Claire. It's finding. My name is Alarna. Okay, Alarna. Thanks for liking your TikTok. Absolutely. I try to be very participative with people on TikTok. I mean, if you tag me in something or if I see you pop up on my pages, I do go through and I do like other people's content. I do go through the For You page a lot because that's where I get a lot of my inspiration. I get a lot of my inspiration from other people and talking to other people. And you just responded. Of course, Lucy, I do respond. I do talk to and get a lot of inspiration from other people, especially anybody who's struggling and who's found a way to fight through, because our battles are always different and what we're going through is always different. And what works for us is different. It's so much trial and error. Thank you, Aqua. I am doing a lot better. I set the goal of 250,000 YouTube subscribers to kind of give myself a break from doing a ton of text. I still respond to some of the text, but I've really slowed down a lot. What do you do if you're self-harming? If you're self-harming, biggest thing to do is find out what's triggering the self-harm. To figure out what's causing you to self-harm is everything, because we have triggers behind it. And it's really funny because it's so redundant so many times, even though we've heard it maybe a million times, and sometimes we need to hear it again. Is like, what triggers it is. The triggers are everything. Communication is everything. Knowing that there's not a quick fix-it-all pill is everything. Knowing that we matter is everything, and having that positive reinforcement. I'm doing good, Rose. Thank you. Any tips on not like thinking of relapse? What's the relapse on, Kaylee? You got to remember, the hard thing with me, perhaps badass motherfuckers, is when somebody says relapse to me and somebody talks to me about relapse, my brain instantly goes into addiction. And I know that there's relapses when it comes to self-harm. I know that there's relapses when it comes to eating disorders. But if it's something that I don't struggle with a ton up front, my brain instantly always goes to addiction. And that's the one that I go to so much of. You know, if it's addiction, NA and AA, I mean, those are my defaults. Why are the servers separated, Dank? Because adults and teens struggle with different things. I separated the servers because I was talking to an individual one time who was an ENT, and he's telling me about how he was putting the intestines back into somebody, and they ended up dying. Was going through a lot of traumatic experiences. I sent him a link to the Discord, and I get with teens that, you do struggle with homework and stuff, but here's a gentleman that's telling me about taking intestines and putting them back into somebody, and the main chat was all about homework. So that's why I had to separate them, so that there's different relating factors there. Hopefully I get to the point too where I get to be back into these servers a lot more than what I have been, just because I've been trying to self-maintain. You have ADHD? I have ADHD too. Without your videos, dude, you would be here. It's finding that passion, that fire. And if you feel like cutting, I mean, it comes down to what's triggering it. I mean, a lot of the times when we want to self-harm, it's not self-harming because we're bored. There's something underlying going on. And that's why getting with a therapist is so important. But if you're in that stage of where you want to self-harm and you don't know why you want to self-harm, it's finding out what's triggering that or bringing that on for you. If you guys are in TikTok, if you click on my profile, I do have a YouTube channel. I'm actually on my YouTube Live. It's a lot easier for me to control it. And I do respond to text still. Hey, Rosalind. I had a mental breakdown yesterday. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. I cut and I am shocked and I don't know what to do. Pick up the pieces and go back at it. I mean, if you don't have a sobriety calculator or calendar, here's a sobriety calendar. So I have a sobriety calendar on my phone, and you can use sobriety calendars for anything. You can use them for self-harm. You can use them for addiction. You can use them for anything. And it's so important to track your days. It's so important to know where you're at. If you've relapsed on anything, you have one of these things and you watch where you're at. And it helps build your motivation. It helps inspire you a little bit of seeing how long you've been clean for. Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate that. I have to direct people over from TikTok to the YouTube channel because it's so much easier for me to read here. Doctors refuse to give you Xanax. Sometimes they will. You got to get with the right doctors, and you got to go about it the right way of what do you need the Xanax for necessarily. If I didn't have to have Xanax, I wouldn't. I really do my best to try not do any of it unless it gets really, really bad. Hey, Yasmin. Alex, your teen server struggled messaging on it often as I get scared, don't know why. It's okay, Alex, and there's a lot of people in it. That's why, the Discord servers are designed just for extra peer-to-peer support. It's designed for me to be able to fall back onto. We have a ton of messages on there that I have to respond to, and it's just I'm trying to take it like a little bit of time. How do I always go from being really happy 2 months straight to really sad? That's kind of how depression works. Depression works in waves. I go through these swings too. I'm diagnosed with MDD, and I can feel myself coming out of it, but I went through a really bad episode, and that's kind of how it works. It's just this ups and downs. And so when it's the good times, God, got to celebrate the good times, and when it's bad, you got to know to reach out for support. Then you got to know that you're not alone, and that's when you have to fall back onto your support. I use mine for pushing through PTSD. Congratulations on pushing through PTSD. 2 weeks clean. Congratulations on the 2 weeks clean. Congratulations. Toxic family, get with extended family. Know that you're not going to be with your family the whole time. Um, and it's setting healthy boundaries and knowing when to walk away. Um, Conflict with toxic families, all it does is escalate it. I have a lot of people that will talk about it when it comes to toxic families, and we're given the family that we're given. Just because there's somebody's blood doesn't mean that they're necessarily family. It's one of those that the people that support you are essentially your family, and that's what your support's all about. And sometimes you have to set up those boundaries. Sometimes you have to make sure that you separate away from toxic parents, toxic friends, and eventually cut them off. Cutting out toxic friends is a lot easier than family because, well, you just can't get rid of family all the way. Doesn't really happen that way. Hey, got your back. Oh, I appreciate that. Tips for telling my parents mental health and self-harming. Amala, what I would do is write them a letter. I'm really big on writing them a letter. It's the first step in reaching out for help is writing somebody a letter. Writing them a letter lets them know what you're struggling with, what you're going through. It's clear communication. You don't have to have the eye-to-eye contact. How can you still be happy even with depression? Depression doesn't mean like the one thing with depression is you're not invisible. You're badass. The one thing that you have to remember with depression is the depression, it doesn't mean that you're not ever going to have happiness in you. Even when you are going through massive depression, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have these little glimmers of hopes of happiness. And you have to remember that. You have to remember that and latch onto those little moments of happiness, and they do help pull you out some. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. I mean, I'm diagnosed with ADHD. I'm diagnosed with PTSD, GAD, MDD, self-harmed, recovering alcoholic addict, cocaine addict. I lost a wife and a father to suicide. I've attempted to commit suicide. So, I mean, I've been through a lot of it, just I can relate to a lot of it. My mom gets mad at me when I distance myself a little bit because it's toxic. And she may, and you got to let her know even why you're separating yourself from them. Dude, Ellie, you are a badass motherfucker. Been through 100% of your worst days to make it through to today. And you didn't come this far to only come this far. It doesn't get better. It fucking gets better. I write notes to my family. Awesome. Writing notes is one of the easiest ways to do. Best ways for social anxiety. Fidget cubes are my favorite. What's up, Shelby? I love you. I love you. Love the support. Fidget cubes are one of my big go-tos. I love using fidget cubes. Fidget cubes help me out a ton. You love my videos. I appreciate that. If you guys are on TikTok, feel free to jump over to my YouTube channel. I'm on YouTube right now. It's easier for me. Have you ever been misdiagnosed? Dank, I've never been misdiagnosed. I know a lot of people that have been misdiagnosed. I have had a diagnosis change. So the misdiagnosis is out there, the most common ones, because I've started digging back in and doing a lot of research. One is ADHD and bipolar. Those two get misdiagnosed a ton. CPTSD and BPD also, I've learned, get misdiagnosed a ton. Those two get confused so often. And so I've started doing a lot more research just because I'm not diagnosed with CPTSD. I'm diagnosed with PTSD. Mine is from a traumatic event. Mine is triggers the smell of blood. It gives me my flashbacks. It gives me my freezing, all of that. One of the biggest things is that there is CPTSD. It's a different type of PTSD. It's being acknowledged more and more. But there are differences, and that's something that's also can be really misdiagnosed. Tips on how to stop nail biting. One of the tips, if you bite your nails or you pick your skin or you pick your lips, is put perfume or cologne on your fingers. If you wear any kind of perfume or cologne, put perfume and cologne on your fingers so that when you go up and your hands go to your face, you will smell it. And it will make you alert of what you're doing. A lot of times when you're biting your nails or when you're chewing on your skin around your nails, you're not consciously almost thinking about it because it does become a habit. Because it becomes a habit, you have to break the habit. One of the ways to break the habit is be aware of the habit. And you can do that through putting scents or putting smells essentially on your fingers so you know when they're by your nose and you're up in your face. Making your lips now, I get it. Anxiety tips, a lot of different groundings. What's up, retry? A lot of different groundings help, whether it's sour stuff, hot stuff, bitter stuff. That's why I wanted to do the Q&A today. There's a lot of different things. What's up, Joshua? If you guys are on TikTok and you have any questions, my YouTube channel's in the description. You can jump over to YouTube. I'm live on YouTube right now. It's easier for me just to scroll through these. I do feel just what's your PTSD from, Jupiter? A lot of it when it comes to PTSD, therapy really helps out a lot. EMDR therapy is out there that can help. EMDR therapy has a lot of stigma around it. It is not used by everybody because they really don't know how EMDR therapy essentially works. If you do read the research, but it does, and it's addressing your triggers at the time. Struggling with anorexia and toxic. Maisie, have you gotten with a therapist? Therapists are huge. I mean, I always will default to that. Get with a therapist. Get with a therapist. When I'm struggling, I get with a therapist. When I'm struggling, that's what I do. I get with a therapist. I'm like, I need help. I need help. Please help me. I'm struggling. Didn't realize that he said something. That's what it is. How did you meet CG Kid? And how did you become friends? Dank, CG Kid and I are best friends. CG Kid is one of my best friends. He is on my list of 5 people that I can call that if I'm struggling, I'm going to reach out to him. We became actually best friends through every day on Twitter. I used to put my number out there just like I did for a long time on TikTok. He started seeing some of my videos on YouTube, and he actually reached out to me through Instagram. We started talking a lot through Instagram. Then we started texting each other. Then we started talking to each other. Then when he came out to California, we did a meetup together. After we met, we clicked because we're very, very similar in a lot of ways. And we've just been through a lot of shit now together, and we respect each other for each other's thoughts. And he's my brother. He's my brother. I still have a bunch of it. I keep making fun. There was one day when he came out here for everything, I started getting mail for him, and I keep making fun. There's one day I literally got no mail for myself, and I got his mail. Self-harm, PTSD, anxiety. Let me just say insomnia isn't great. It isn't great. Insomnia sucks. When I do put smell on my fingers, it goes, so I still do it. Have you tried like Vicks on your fingers, or have you tried like Vaseline on your fingers? Anything on your fingers that you can do to throw off the taste or to throw them off of being able to grab? I mean, I've done a lot of the trichotillomania videos, trichotillomania videos, on which is the hair pulling, which a lot of times people didn't understand that pulling your eyelashes, pulling your hair, pulling your eyebrows, pulling your skin or your hair on your skin is something that is anxiety driven. So it's one of those things that, not being able to grab is huge. Any tips for anger? I'm getting really mad recently. Jay, what's changed that you started getting mad a lot recently? That's the thing that you want to look into. First is what's getting you to the point that you are getting angry? What's setting you off? What happened? Was there a change in life? Was there a stressor change? Was there a change in work? Was there a change in friends? What happened in your life where all of a sudden anger became more of an issue? If you are dealing with anger, one of the big things to do is to write down what's making you angry. Walk away and come back to it. Reread it. That's one of the things that can help. I'm gonna try Via next. Vicks next. Try Vicks. It does help. Oh my God, I didn't even notice. I picked my skin, my lip. Dude, a lot of times we do. A lot of times when we are picking and we are doing a lot of these things, we don't realize it. You like the hat? I got them on Teespring. The hats are available on Teespring now. You don't realize that's a thing that's hard with a habit, even when it comes to cutting. When it comes to anorexia, when it comes to eating disorders, a lot of times we don't realize. Hi, Galaxy. How are you? What are you depressed on? I have depression and anxiety. Sometimes it seems to smile, just cry, not even get out of bed. Dude, Steve, that's what depression is. Depression is literally just being stuck in your bed, stuck in your thoughts, not even getting out. How do you stop clicking knuckles? Same. I mean, it's trading habits. One of the easiest habits to trade is if you can trade it with gum. One of the worst habits to trade it with is smoking or tobacco products. Like, I believe me, I totally get that. Vicks is helping right now. Vicks does help. Vicks helps if you rub it on yourself. That smell, it fills into your sinuses. It fills into your head. It draws your thoughts out of your fucking head and into the present. That's one of the greatest things with Vicks. And it even helps if you do have insomnia. A lot of times with insomnia, mine is my thoughts don't stop. And so because my thoughts aren't stopping, I'm struggling. And now I'm laying in bed, I can't sleep, and I amp my thoughts up, and I amp them up, and I amp them up, and they get worse and worse and worse. And they become this fucking monster that's in my closet. And Vicks will help me kind of get out of it because it keeps me here. It keeps me in the present. It keeps me out of here. You get bullied physically and mentally. If you're getting bullied physically, one of the things you want to do is make sure that you record it. That's one of the easiest things. The carnivore diet will help. I've got to try the carnivore diet. I've heard a lot about it. I've had friends that have tried the carnivore diet. That is one of the things that I want to try is the carnivore. Um, the smell, love the smell. How do I deal with anxiety, Con? I deal with anxiety literally. Like I take everything very addiction oriented wise, like one day at a time. Hi, Brittany. I love you. I take everything addiction wise one day at a time. Um, to know that it is okay, that it's okay to be not okay. I take it and avoid triggers. I log, I journal a lot. I really watch what I'm going through and try to set up healthy boundaries. That's one of the biggest things that I do is trying to set them up. Throw a carrot in. That's why I have Vicks. Dude, Vicks is a cure all. I love Vicks. The Vicks and Listerine are my favorites. Facing third breast cancer surgery and freaking out, Andrea. Do I get some support with that? Get family around you on that. Um, get people around you on that. That's a battle. My prayers and my thoughts are with you. My heart is with you. The lately I've been really struggling with anger issues. Anger issues. Hey, Kelly Jelly. Anger issues. Anger issues are hard. Anger issues come and go with me. If make sure you're taking your meds on them. Don't isolate yourself, Andrea. With and I can tell you this. So I've never experienced cancer. I haven't experienced any of that. I can tell you though that I have been through with family members with cancer. I've been with family members through the hospital, through long term treatments, through hospice, through all of that. One of the biggest things when it comes to that is surrounding yourself with that support, with that positive reinforcement. Our brains are the most negative things out there. If we get extremely negative, we will beat ourselves up, and prevent that from happening is having that positive support, having somebody root us on, having somebody believe in us when our belief isn't there. That's what helps lift us up. That's why I'm so big on throwing out support and giving out support, because I truly believe in lifting up each other. Because if you lift up other people, you're going to lift yourself up. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good to fucking help somebody. I mean, as simple as that. It makes you feel good just to help somebody, and helping somebody helps us back in return. It makes us feel better about ourselves. It makes us feel that we've made a difference, that we're okay, and that our struggles are okay. I mean, that's why I'm so big about it. I really am. Damn straight. Bunch of BAMs. The how do I stop from self-harming? Here's the thing: if you guys are in the TikTok live, jump over to my YouTube. It's a lot easier for me to chat. There's 215 of you in the TikTok live. There's only 47 in the YouTube live. That's why the chat's a lot easier for me to read over on YouTube. That's why I do combine lives now. Is one is yeah, I do share a lot on YouTube. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, hit the like and subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a live stream here for about another hour. Hit the like and subscribe button. I share a ton on YouTube though. But the other thing is that I can also check the chats, and the chats are a lot easier. And I do get a lot of things of how do I stop a friend from with depression? How do I help a friend with anxiety? How do I help a friend with eating disorder? How do I help a friend with self-harm? Here's what I can tell you: if you have any friends that are dealing with that or with suicidal tendencies, I want to say are a little bit differently. If you are really afraid of a friend that's struggling with suicide, get with the family, get with the friends, get people involved in their life. Hi from TikTok. What's up, Aaron? How are you? Reese, I get it. It's a struggle, but believe me, you don't want to end it. You don't. It might feel that way. It's a temporary pain, believe me, and it gets better. I've fucking been there. But if you have friends that are struggling and you're afraid that they are suicidal, reach out to their families, let them know. Reach out to your family, let them know. Get them. What's up, Mr. Relentless? How are you, brother? I love you, man. The You're from TikTok and you need help. Okay, Yasmin, I'll give you all the help. If you have these people though that in your life, these friends that are struggling with these, the biggest thing that you can do is be a friend. Well, thank you so much for the concert. Be a friend. Being a friend is listening. It is sending them memes. It's sending them jokes. It's coming over to their house. It's helping them out with chores. It's helping them with the small things, because when we're depressed and we're going through all this shit, we're dropping all all of the weights around us and all of our chores around us, and somebody to help us with all that makes life a little bit easier. It relieves some of the depression. It relieves some of the anxiety. It relieves a lot of that. So just being a friend and listening to listen. The strongest thing you can do is listen to listen, not listen to respond. Just listening to somebody, there's so much healing in there. Do you have does having a passion help with depression? It does. Having a passion, having goals does help with a point with anxiety, with depression. It does, because it gives you something to live for. I mean, one of the worst things in the world is to wake up and go, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck do I want even out of life? I don't know what I want out of life. I'm just going to drift through it. And I've been there. I defaulted to alcohol. I defaulted to cocaine. I fucking just blew up in my brain. How do you deal with ADHD in classroom setting? Meds is the biggest one, caffeine. Love your TikToks. Thank you so much, Donut. Can I cover? You can cover your self-harm scars. I mean, there's no easy way to cover self-harm scars. You can wear long sleeve shirts. I mean, I've done all that, but you fucking be empowered by the motherfucking battle scars. I mean, that's what they are. They're motherfucking battle scars. I got them right here. I mean, I got some good ones right there. I got some right here. And anytime I ever see anyone with self-harm scars, I'm like, dude, you're a fucking badass. I like give props out to people with self-harm scars because I know how much of a fight it is and that you're still here. You are surrounded by BAMs. How do I feel? My mom has depression. She's really stressed. I need to tell her. The thing is you feel that parents and family are really stressed, that you're going to be a burden to them. That's why writing a letter helps. Communication with your parents, believe me, makes a huge difference. But you have to. You cannot assume for other people. They're stressed. They're this. They're this. They're this. They're this. No. They'll tell you if they're stressed. They'll tell you if they're struggling. Parents really will. But I can also say this. Parents want to help out their kids. A majority, not all of them, but a majority of parents want to help out their kids, want to be there for their kids. So being there for your children is huge, and they want to be there for you. But I've talked to so many parents that have lost their kids to suicide. I have. I've talked to more parents than I've ever wanted to that have lost children to suicide. And the hindsight's 2020, and all of them say, why didn't they tell me? I didn't notice the signs. I wanted to be there for them. And they would do anything to have that ability to have that conversation again. And you know what? I can tell you this, that reaching out to your parents, they do want to help you, but you got to start the communication. That's up to you. You've got to start the communication. What's up, Anime Girl? If you guys are on TikTok, feel free to jump over to YouTube. It's easier for me to read the chats. If you're having a panic attack at school, it's most likely going to be an anxiety attack. I shared about that, actually, just did a video on YouTube about it. ADHD is tough without meds. It's tremendously tough without meds. Any way of getting over the loss when you're an introvert and like being alone. Galaxy, well, that's a good one. I'm very introverted. I have to set goals to not be introverted. Especially when I'm depressed, I default back to being introverted. When I default back into being introverted, I will surround myself in my house. I mean, I work out of my house already a lot of the times. And so if I'm in my house, I'm not reaching out to friends. I'll stop texting friends. I'll stop texting people in my life to have that connection. And I have to set goals. Like I literally will say, okay, I'm going to text 5 friends today, and just see how they're doing. And so I start setting myself goals so that I don't become introverted, because the more introverted we are, the more that our brain does fuck with us. My PFP still won't work. My sister killed herself, dude. Yasmin, my heart goes out to you. That's a lot. My heart goes out to you. It feels hard to even breathe. Been in bed all day. Dude, Caitlin, that's okay. It's okay to be in bed all day. It really is. It's okay to be not okay. Just one of the biggest things I can say is if you're there, you have to acknowledge the shitty day you're having. Just acknowledge. Thank you, Cookie. Cookie Monster. I love you. Thank you, Cookie. You have to acknowledge the shit that you are going through and start to get that support. I mean, that's why right here's, I'm going to drop it in the chat for YouTube. It should drop. There it is. I'll drop in the chat for YouTube, the mental health Discord. You check it out. I mean, because that's what it's about. It's finding that right support, finding people that can relate some. I like how you make people not have depression. Thanks, Dennis. And it's not that I don't cure anyone from depression, anxiety, any of that. All I can hope is that I inspire somebody or help them find that fire that goes, fuck, I can do this. I can do this. You know what? This motherfucker, this bald motherfucker on fucking TikTok or on YouTube is telling me that I can do this, and all the shit he's been through, I've been through a bunch of shit too. How do I do it? I'm going to try something, and you fight through. That's what I love. I love that. I mean, I get really passionate. I get really fired up about it. And don't ever mistake, like, my passion, my anger are very different. I am one of the most passionate people there is when it comes to just getting excited, because I know how much life does have to offer. And this is when I can feel myself even coming out of a depressive episode, is that I do get excited very easily. And it's those little things. How do you feel with overwhelmed? Feeling with getting overwhelmed, to-do lists is huge. I do a lot of to-do lists, especially when I was going through a lot of this depression. I stopped doing to-do lists. I got away from a routine. So my life just collapsed all around me. And I was like, oh, here's everything fucking falling apart. I'm not getting shit done. Why not? Why am I not doing any of this? Oh, that's right, because I don't have a to-do list. I don't have a routine. I'm not doing what I need to do to keep my house and my life in order. So to-do list is huge. What helps with PTSD? PTSD, one of the big things that helps is sharing about it. Sharing about the experiences with it does help. There's a lot that you can do to help with the PTSD. Getting with a therapist helps. Sometimes the meds helps. There's a lot that does. Big thing with PTSD is therapy. You're pregnant and anorexic. Bella, have you talked to your doctor about that? If you are pregnant and you are going through anything, you've got to get with your doctor on that. How do you help with stop self-harming? Stop self-harming, you got to find coping tools. Coping tools are huge. I mean, that's whether it's the glue, whether it is using tape, whether it is drawing on yourself, whether it's the snap bands. I mean, if you ever notice, like in my TikTok videos and on my YouTube videos, I usually have snap bands and a hat. One of the reasons I went back to even wearing a hat is because a hat is a fidget cube for me. This is why I also want like snapbacks. Because I can sit here and I can focus on what I'm doing with the hat instead of my thoughts. I mean, it's just finding different things that work for you. That's the nice thing about it. Peel off a face mask helps too. I got to do one on that because it does. The one person that makes me happy lives. That's okay. I mean, be in touch with them. Be on the phone with them. How do you find the BAMF? How do you find the right counseling person? Trial and error. If you guys are on TikTok, feel free to jump over to YouTube. It's easier for me to read the chats there. BAMF's badass motherfuckers made it through 100% of your worst days. Make it through 2 today. That's how amazing you are. If you're struggling and trying to find the right therapist, it is a lot of trial and error. It's been good. How are you? Mental health. It's trial and error to find the right doctor that works for you. Some doctors you're not going to connect with. Some doctors you're not going to like. Some doctors you will like. Some doctors you'll get along with great. And you find that right doctor. When you find the right doctor, you know. It's just kind of like when you know that you like somebody. You get done. I mean, I'll have to do more videos. Dude, I have to do the condoms again. I haven't done the condoms in a while, psychopathic. One of the things that you have to do and get back to is the trial and error, finding that right doctor. When you find them, is that connection that of, oh my God, I like this person. This person really helps me. It's kind of like meeting a friend. What helps with suicidal thoughts? Sharing about them. What's triggering the suicidal thoughts? What's triggering the thoughts in your head? Where's your brain going that makes you feel that way? Where's your brain? What path is your brain taking you down that makes you feel that way? That's why it's so important. That's why it's still, again, support and reaching out doesn't fix everything, but it fucking helps. Galaxy Wolf, I love you. The one person in trust passed away. You can trust other people, believe me. Believe me. How did you deal with other people did love it? I thought I saw something there. I can't find it. You are BAM. You're a badass motherfucker. Did you tell your parents that you self-harmed? Yes, I did, Grace. I talked to my mom. In fact, I found out my mom self-harmed. One of the most amazing conversations I ever had. God, that's dude. I got to make a note of that. I have to make a note of that. I have to do a video on that. I forgot all about that. Thank you for like, this is why I like talking to people, because it gets your brain going. Say when you're struggling, it gets your brain going. All right, dude, I'm doing that video actually tomorrow now on YouTube. I'm going to go into the story of it. But no, I talked to my mom actually about my self-harm, that I hit myself when I was self-harming, and that I would burn myself. Those were my 2 big forms of self-harm. When I talked to my mom about it, it turned out that my mom had self-harmed. And my mom is now, how old is my mom? My mom's almost like 70. um, that she had hit herself and she had a lot of self-defeating thoughts. And her self-harm was very similar to mine on the feeling of a failure. And so whenever I started feeling like a failure, it made it very open for me to be able to talk to my mom because she understood. That was one of the amazing things about it. So, reaching out and talking to your parents are huge because you don't know who will be able to understand. Sienna Sullivan, you keep yourself going. You're the badass motherfucker. You're the one that keeps yourself going. Can you give me any tips on how to stop from biting my lip? If you're biting your lips, a lot of one of the defaults too is go to gum. Gum's a really easy one. How do you tell your family you're really depressed? Just like that, writing them out a letter, let them know that you're really depressed. Um, don't be afraid to tell people. You'll be surprised how many. Hi Zooey, how are you? If you guys are in TikTok Live, feel free to jump over to my YouTube. It's easier for me to read the chats there. This goes too quick. What do you think about taking meds, Adderall, Xanax versus actual script? I take the actual script, Sharon. And what I mean by the actual script is both of them are generics. It's easier for me just to say Adderall than whatever the generic thing is that I take, but whatever the scripts are is what I end up taking. Don't self-medicate yourself through it because taking a stimulant and a benzo, what a lot of people don't realize is they essentially, in a lot of ways, counter themselves out. What I've noticed is if when I am on my Adderall and I end up taking a Xanax, I still can think of my thoughts, but I'm a lot calmer. So it balances it out, but I'm neither extreme. If you are on TikTok, feel free to jump over to YouTube. How do you feel with ADHD and ASD without meds? It's a fight from hell. And I'm not like, and don't get me wrong, it's not like all big pharma this and big pharma that. No. I just know, and I've seen my life from no meds to meds and the huge difference. And the meds difference makes a difference. Love you too, Leo. Sad lately, been away from school 4 weeks now, really scared to go back to school. Any tips? Lizzie, just focus on yourself. And when you go back, give it a little bit of time. You'll realize that you'll fall right back into the sink of things. You help through. Awesome, Leo. I'm here for you. Tips for fake friends. If you feel that people are fake friends, cut them out of your life. Time is valuable. Time is the most valuable asset that you have. So cut the fake out, cut the bullshit out, and do you. I mean, when it comes down to a relationship, if you feel a relationship is very toxic, cut it out. I do, Yasmin. I got to get back to where I'm way behind on the Instagram messages. I'm not doing the text messages anymore. Like I said, I'll do the text again and even phone calls. If it gets to the point that I get 250,000 subs because I made this really crazy, huge goal, that if I hit it, I'll go back to doing it just because I know it'll give me a long mental break. But the thing that I do talk to anybody in any country and because it's needed everywhere. I made it out of bed with you. Dude, way to go, Caitlin. Way to make it out of fucking bed. Badass. How do you stop anxiety attack in school? Grounding techniques help. You can try the calming and breathing exercises. I personally go after sense of taste and smell. If it's sense of taste, I'm going to pop in like Sour Patch Kids. I'm going to pop in Warheads. I'm going to pop in something really sour into my mouth, or I'm going to smell something that's going to get my brain out of here. Any tips on anxiety, panic attacks? Panic attacks are hard to ground yourself from, and they're hard to stop yourself. There is huge differences between anxiety attacks and panic attacks. One of the biggest ones is there's no trigger necessarily behind a panic attack. There's stressors like work, job loss, money, deaths in the family. There's massive stressors, but anxiety attacks are more triggered by our thoughts. So it's harder to ground yourself in them. But if you do have the two grounding techniques that truly will work for me typically every single time, if I'm having a panic attack, is smelling a smelling salt because it's such a strong smell of ammonia that it goes, what the fuck? Or changing my body temperature. How do you deal with sensation of self-harmer? A lot of the self-harming thing goes back to, bye, Katie, of what's triggering it. You got to get down to the triggers. If you guys are in TikTok, feel free to jump over to YouTube. There's 249 of you here. There's 61 of you in YouTube. It's easier for me to read the YouTube chats than it is the TikTok. So what's up, James? You're a BAM. Badass motherfucker. Made it through 100% of your worst days to make it through to today. How do you manage your life if your boyfriend's your main reason to live? Leah, you got to find a different reason to live. I got to tell you this. I've been there. It's one of those that you got to get with family. You got to find some goals. You got to find some passions. I thought other people were the reason for me to live before. And I place that. I can tell you this: if you place that on somebody in a relationship, your relationship's going to crumble. At least all mine did. That's my experience. But if you're like, oh, this one person's the reason I'm living, and it crumbles, you're going to still be here. You're going to still fight through. It's going to get better. It's going to be hard. You're going to get better. But to place it on that happiness or that reason to live on somebody isn't right. And you have to look in and find out, what are your passions? What are your goals? What do you want to do out of life? And sometimes that means getting with a therapist. That means it's getting with a doctor. That means it's getting with meds. It's getting with a life coach. It's getting with a psychologist for medication. It's getting with a psychologist for coping and skills, psychiatrist for medication. And that's why there's even different doctors out there. I don't know. I'm going slow. I'm going to learn. All right, Leo. Hi, Diane. How are you? I figured out the reason don't have friends is me. I disagree a little bit with you, Diana. A lot of times it's finding the people that want to understand. The hard thing with a lot of times you got to remember with friends is friends will take, and we think they're friends and we give. And if we enable friends, we're going to lose friends. I can tell you this: by enabling your friends, you end up losing them. And how you enable friends is you give to friends more than what you get back in return, and you just keep giving. Well, eventually they don't. You get trained in a pattern. I mean, that's the thing where if you've ever had a friendship and it became toxic and you lost that friend later on in life, they come back into your life and sometimes it's different, and then you guys become good friends again. That's the reason why. And it's one of those that if you enable people, it's going to drag you down. The point of life is up to you, Lucy. I mean, the point of life is up to everybody. I wish there was a book on that. I wish there was a medication on that. I wish there was a magic pill when it came to mental illness. Thank you so much, Emily. I appreciate that. I love you, sweetie. If you guys are in here, if you're in the TikTok live, feel free to jump into YouTube. You can jump into the YouTube live. It's easy. Thank you, Cookie. I appreciate that. And the link to the YouTube channel is up in the description box. Feel free to jump over. Put your hand on your heart. You feel that? It's called purpose. I like that. That's fucking strong. Love it. That is fucking strong. Put your hand on your heart. You feel that as a reason. That's fucking good. I really enjoy that. Let's see. I love you so much. Dude, you guys matter. What's your question? If you guys, Daniel, if you have a question, Danielle, jump over to the YouTube. It's so much easier for me to read questions and chats in the YouTube. If you guys haven't subscribed or liked the YouTube channel, so hit the like and subscribe button. It definitely helps out a lot. How do I stop biting fingers? I went through that, Panda. Try smelling things on your fingers. That helps. It makes you conscious. Life sucks. Want to end it because I made fun of, because I wear the same clothes to school. Liz, it can be difficult. Have you talked to anybody about it? Have you talked to your teachers about it and gotten some help from your teachers? You'd be surprised how much help you can get. How do you get over my dog passing away? Time, Sydney. It's hard. I mean, losing an animal is extremely difficult. It's like losing a family member. I mean, there's a lot when it goes into that. I know it triggers self-harm. Well, what triggers your self-harm? I mean, it goes into then digging into those triggers and going, what helps that feel accomplished. First time, way to go, Chrissy. Congratulations. I'm doing laundry right now. Celebrate those little fucking victories in life. You have to. I made a stream. I was getting bullied. Hate comments. I don't know how to kick from the stream. Where's that at, Harry? Here you can, both of you, TikTok and YouTube, you can kick people like that from your streams. You just have to click on the user IDs. I have a sleeve for pee tomorrow. I have to hide the cuts on my arms. Don't worry. How should I hide them? Caitlin, that's one that's up to you. You can try the long sleeve shirts. So you can try a lot of different things. TikTok, you can mute people on, Harry. You got to embrace them to a certain point. I mean, you really do. I mean, that was one of the biggest healing things for me, was to embrace my scars. Later on in life, I mean, you can get tattoos and you can cover your scars over with tattoos. So there's a lot that you can do, but you got to dig into yourself and realize that this is your story. The shit that you're going through right now is the shit that will eventually one day inspire somebody who's just starting their journey. I mean, you got to remember that. There's a lot of truth to that. The shit that you're enduring through, the shit that you're going through right now, the shit that you're fighting through right now is shit that can inspire somebody later on in life that's starting to go through the same thing. That's how strong you are. That's how strong your story is. That's how strong sharing is. Absolutely, Dank. How to recognize anxiety, differences in your change of body temperature, the difference in your thoughts. There's a lot that can do to of knowing what your anxiety is or what your anxiety triggers are. Getting with a therapist though helps. I mean, one of the worst things you can ever do is to self-diagnose yourself or to diagnose yourself with any kind of medication. I don't want to annoy Steve as the same thing, but I want him to see. What's that, Mackenzie? What do you want me to see? I'm trying to find it. What do you do if you're scared to be yourself? Set yourself small goals. Set yourself small goals. I mean, what are you trying to be yourself? What part of yourself are you trying to be? Setting small goals, having small accomplishments, seeing the small accomplishments helps you be comfortable with yourself, helps you build the confidence in yourself. It's a series of victories that helps us know that we're okay. How to writing your issues down and hand them to your parents, Sydney. How do I deal with anxiety? Dealing with anxiety, just find out what the triggers are, healthy boundaries. That's huge. Eric, what do you do when you're in a panic attack? Grounding techniques, ice, water, sense of taste, sense of smells. There's different things. If you guys are in TikTok and you want to ask any questions, jump over to my YouTube. If you click on my profile on TikTok, right next to where I had the little follow, unfollow, whatever button, there's another button. If you click that, it down scrolls to Instagram and to YouTube. You can jump over into the YouTube. Easier. How do I share my story once? Here I gave up on it. Diana, text me your story. I'll even share your story for you. I like your story. Your story is a hell of a fucking story. Could be 18 this year. Every time I think about my future, don't want to do. That's a lot, Emily, and I get it. And finding the purpose in your life is up to you. That's where you got to find out what you enjoy, and that's where it's trial and error every day to find out what you enjoy. Try different things to enjoy. You know, if you never built a model before, build a model. Try reading books. Go outside and draw. Go outside and exercise. Try archery. Try hunt. I mean, there's so many different things that you can try. It's huge. Hey, Jordan, how are you? Arguments in families, bullying. That's a lot. When was the first help people going through tough? When did you first? Elroy, the first started helping people when I got sober in July 25th, 2017 was when I got sober. And when I got sober, I was trying to figure out what the fuck am I going to do. I was a mental just head case all over. I was detoxing. I was going through a lot of shit, trying to repair a marriage, just everything, lost a job, trying to find myself. And throughout that, I started a long process of trial and error. And through that process of trial and error, I mean, I built a pond in my backyard, a koi pond. We moved. I tried reading books, doing models. I tried a lot of different things. And then I started talking to a friend of mine and they go, I was like, man, you know what's one of the most amazing things is when we're struggling and how lonely we feel, because I got sober. And when I got sober, it was hard for me to like interact with people for a while. And I was like, man, it'd be really cool if there was like something out there that you could just like have like rent a friend almost. And it kind of evolved into people who are struggling, into my mental illnesses, into just wanting to make a difference and realizing the importance of just having a friend. And that's what really inspired me to start helping people, was I just wanted to make a difference through friendship. It wasn't because I knew any better and I wanted to tell people how to live their life or any of that bullshit. It was like, maybe if I share my story with them, it'll help them. And maybe they can try the trial and error and that'll make a difference. So that's what really inspired me to start helping people. I live in California. And yeah, I do always keep looking out my window to see if I'm getting swatted. Do your fake smile. That's my fake smile. I got my fake smile down. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, you're doing good. That's awesome. I'm doing good too. My real smile is a little different. And the one thing you can always tell when people are fake smiling is you can see it in their eyes. You can see it in their eyes if there's really pain behind those eyes or not. I should probably go to sleep because I have music exam tomorrow. Go to sleep, get some sleep. The wristbands I give out, Sullivan, I give out the wristbands. Thanks. I do them literally outside the front yard. I literally do my TikToks outside the front yard. I do them right there in my living room, or I'll do them in my backyard. Like I don't put a whole lot of Please answer me just once on Telegram. Okay, I will. I've started messing around with Telegram. When I'm done with the live streams, I will. But I have class. Get to class. How do I make people understand my issues? Carolyn, by clear communication of what it is you're struggling through. Boomer dance. I'll do some more boomer dance. I do boomer dances every day. Clear communication and explain to them as well as you can of what you're going through. It's all about the clarity and the communication of what it is you're struggling with, how you're struggling, and sharing with them what you're going through. The more that you share what you're going through, how you're feeling, what ups and downs are like, the more that people are going to understand. If you guys are on TikTok, feel free to jump over to YouTube. It's so much easier for me to read the chats into YouTube. The link is in my profile. When I have 250,000, I will go back to answering calls. Can you please share a story? I can, Daniel, or you can share it too. I mean, a lot of times people are afraid of sharing their stories. I can tell you this: sharing somebody else's story for them doesn't have the impact of you sharing your story, but it still, regardless, has a lot of impact. What's up, Ashley? How are you? I love my videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you have any tips to treat anxiety instead of walking out of my college class? Chrissy, what do you pop in your mouth? I mean, really, gum cubes are one of the biggest. I haven't been responding to WhatsApp in a long time. I got to reactivate that. The challenge I ran into is just alone getting 2,000 to 3,000 text messages a day. I literally was getting no work done, was getting nothing around my house done, was getting nothing done in my house, and everything was collapsing around me. And that's one of the reasons that I stopped doing a lot of it. Good YouTube videos. I appreciate that. Thank you. I love sharing on YouTube. YouTube is one of my favorite platforms for being able to share more in detail, more than a minute, more than the 15 seconds of how to fight through different things. When I feel bad about talking to my problems with people, somehow pushing my problems onto them, you're not. And that's, Nelly, that's one of the things that we think is we don't share because we don't want to burden other people. We don't want to drag other people down. We feel that our problems are only our problems, and our problems are going to affect them in a negative way, and our problems are going to hurt this person. Our problems, that's not really the case. That's really not the case at all. At all. That's not the case. That's why sharing about it and talking to your friends about it and talking to others about it help you out so much. Don't worry, maybe. Hi. If you guys are on TikTok, there's 179 of you. Feel free to jump over to YouTube if you guys have questions. And my YouTube link is up in the definitely, Diana, share it with me. It's up in the profile. If you guys click my profile, you'll see the drop down for the YouTube. It's there. Feel free to jump into the YouTube live stream. If you're new to my YouTube channel, hit the like and subscribe button. I share here a ton. I have another video coming out. Thank you for answering my question. Absolutely. I can't be myself. Mask is wearing thin and don't know who I am anymore. Victoria, give it time. Give it time and decide who you want to be. You can be whoever you want to be any fucking day. I'm really mean that. And I don't mean it in a dumb way. I want to be a fish. No. What I mean is you can change and be who you want to be at any time. And the reason I believe that is, well, I was a fucking hardcore addict. And I woke up and decided I didn't want to be that anymore. And it's okay for me not to do that anymore. And I need some support. Tag me in it. Yeah, definitely. You'd be surprised. Your story will help from more people than what you know. That support, that story will inspire people. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you want to make a difference, inspire somebody. Is there a favorite thing someone has told you? Millie, the favorite thing right now that somebody's told me that's really inspired me a lot, like has really got my brain, is when I shared to my mom about my self-harm now. Because I had forgotten all about that. Like, I find little joys in life. I mean, that's what if you can't find my YouTube channel, Sarah, if you click my profile, here's where you find my YouTube channel. If you're in my profile, somebody heard that I have cute feet. That's interesting. Here's my profile. If you click that little button, it hits and it will say at the bottom YouTube or Instagram. You just click the Instagram. Or you just click the YouTube, excuse me. Click the YouTube and it'll take you directly to my YouTube channel. Your videos have helped a lot. Bottle up. I'm glad that they've helped. It's awesome that you're looking forward to seeing a therapist. I mean, that's one of the things you got to be excited about seeing your therapist, realizing what it's going to be like for your therapist. I texted you over 4 months ago. It's helped so much. I was dark at the times. Awesome. Way to go, Leah. Thank you. That's awesome. What's up, Dawn? How are you, sweetie? Sick as shit? That is funny. The every time I talk about my depression, my friends make fun of me. You got to find out, Carson, who to talk to. So, and that's the thing is finding the right people to talk to, the right people to share with. And that's where, hey, Block, that's where finding those right people to share with is so important. And it's not, it's one of those that once you have those right people to share with, it's so much easier. That's why AA and NA are great because you find people that can relate. Once you find somebody that can relate, then all of a sudden it becomes so freeing. The it stings. What can I do to numb the pain? I cut myself. Not a whole lot. You patch it up and go back at it. I pretended I'm okay. I'm not really. Andy, but be honest with your family. Be honest with your friends. Ask for help. Asking for help is the strongest thing you can do. What if you can share? What if you can't share with anyone? You believe me, you can. What's up, Shell? How are you? Funny, sick as hell, chills, fever, chest hurts, breathe. You're getting sick, woman. The our brain will be is the one that tells us that we can't share with anyone. Our brain will be the one that will try and get us to give up. Our brain will do a lot of bullshit like that, and that's not the case. Don't give up. Don't listen to your brain, and you can prove your thoughts wrong a lot. Favorite color is black. Any advice for social anxiety? Fidget cubes, fidget spinners help a lot. Headphones help a lot. Finding just different distractions to not being thinking of everybody around you. If you guys are in TikTok, I mean, jump over to YouTube. If you guys are new on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. I got another video coming out here today. Oh, I found you. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the support. That's the thing that I love about doing live streams is the more that you do live streams, you see support in the chats. You see all of that. First time I've sent a monetary emoji, I think on TikTok. It wasn't much, but I was wondering if you received that. You do that, Anthony. You do see it. I haven't cashed out any of my TikToks this year at all. I have an issue going on with PayPal, trying to get them to let me to change a PayPal account. And I literally don't ask people for donations. I mean, I tell people if they really want to make the biggest difference is literally subscribe to YouTube, watch my videos. My channel is monetized. So if you watch the videos, it's not a lot of money. I make like $1 a day from YouTube. So, but it's something, and it is help for me, and it inspires me. And it's like, I get excited about shit like that. I get picked on because I care. If people are picking on you because you care, that's okay. You got to get rid of that toxic people in your life. Don't forget that you're a BAM dude. I love it, Jared. BAM, badass motherfuckers. We are badass motherfuckers, and you are beautiful, and you're wonderful, and you're smart. You're gorgeous. You're amazing. You're strong. You know what? You got this. Your uncle has cancer. Help him just by being support, letting him know that you love him. Spending time with them. Time is the most valuable thing in the world. Spending time with people is everything. I appreciate that, Carolyn. Thank you so much. Any tips on helping depression is already kicking my ass? Agree, added in the mix. Mom, just lost my mom, not really coping. Lindsay, do you have any, if you lost your mom, grief counseling is huge. NAMI, NAMI.org. Go to a NAMI meeting can help. Starting to get around that support helps. You can jump into the mental health Discord. Getting a therapist helps. Setting up some small goals, especially if it's really kicking your ass. Just set up small things to accomplish each day. That alone helps. That alone builds up a lot of the positive reinforcements. The beautiful, wonderful, smart. It is, Topaz, believe me. I've been called ugly. I've been called fat. I've been called stupid. I've been picked on. I've been laughed at, all sorts of things. I mean, a lot of my wives, I like when I say that, are all been younger than me. I've been told that I'm their fucking dad. I get made fun of a lot of stuff. And you know what? You're all amazing. You're all beautiful. You're all wonderful. You're all smart. You're all gorgeous. You got to remember that shit. Don't buy into the fucking bullshit that other people are going to tell you. The people that are fucking going to tell you shit are the people that are trying to drag you down to make them feel fucking better about themselves. That's what the bullshit is. Exactly. I've got the app that helps with my days. Awesome. How do you get the feeling of wanting to hurt yourself to get better? You got to figure out what's triggering it. What's the app called? The app that I do talk about is like the Discord app, which is this right here, is the mental health community that I created. This is a little over a year old. And it comes down to here, I'm going to do this. Let's see if I should. No, because that's a jackass thing to do. So I have somebody here that says, "Hi, cutie. I bet your feet are cute." I said, "What?" I heard from some friends you got cute feet. Is that true? I don't know. Are you sure these are odd questions? These are some of the texts that I do get that make absolutely no sense of why I'm being texted this. Love you too, Ashley. My comments are being missed. Love you. I do. Hi, SS. How are you? You're a BAMF. My sister has her first chemo tomorrow. I'm rooting for her. How do you deal with negative self-talk, Caitlin? That's where a lot of support comes into play. A lot of support will help reinforce that and override that negative self-talk. If you guys are on TikTok, click on my profile. It'll show my YouTube channel and the little links. DR1VEN. You could jump into my YouTube live. There's 277 of you. That's why I'm not ignoring you guys into TikTok, but I do answer questions from YouTube. So much easier for me. And there are two different Discord communities there. How do I cope with driving anxiety and anxiety around strangers? What's up, Sarah? The anxiety around strangers is a lot easier. I mean, get something to fidget with, get something to touch, hold, get your senses going. The driving anxiety is different. Celebrating goals, mapping out and planning out your drives does help a lot. I used to have driving anxiety massively, especially when I got sober. And so knowing the routes that I was going helped me calm that anxiety. What's up, Claire? How do you, what do you do if you have mental breakdowns? Go ask for help. I mean, ask for help. Thank you so much for the gifts, Lola. If you guys are in the YouTube chat, our TikTok chat, feel free to jump over to the YouTube. Eric, you're a BAM. You're a BAM too, Ali. Badass motherfucker, and I appreciate your help. I need to know that too. If you're having mental breakdowns in school, ask your teacher for help. Ask your teachers for help. Ask them for help. Ask your counselors for help. If your teachers that help me, go to your principal for help. What is a mental breakdown though? See, that's the thing that you got to understand. If you go to a teacher, you go to a counselor, you go to a principal, you go to a therapist, you go to your parents, and you say, I had a mental breakdown. Okay. I don't know what you mean, though. That's where that communication is huge, to be able to explain what you mean when you say a mental breakdown. What do you feel? What do you physically feel like? What do you emotionally feel like? What thoughts are going through your head? More specifics that you can give, the more help that you can get. Thank you, Forever Friend. I appreciate that. I'm trying to cut down my drug use. I'm using coping strategies. What else can I do? Cold turkey. Cold turkey, NAAA. Depends on what the drug use is. But a lot of it, you got to get to the point of being sick and tired and just fucking cut the shit. And that's not easy to do. I have PTSD, special forces screw up my head. Lee, that's a lot. Do you have a therapist? Especially when it comes to that's a lot. Therapy does help tremendously. What do you do? It feels like you can't. You got to remember, Olivia, that that's a feeling and that's not a reality. If you feel that nobody cares, that nobody can help you, that nobody's doing anything, it's a feeling. It's not reality. It's a feeling. You have to acknowledge that this is just how I feel. And one of the things is that you can prove your feelings wrong. So you got to remember that you can prove your feelings wrong. Injured at work, left, stolen from me. My wife and bought a puppy named her Mika. Beginning, but awesome. I love that, Anthony. That's sweet. How do you cope with depressive panic episodes at school when all the teachers don't know? I've only asked for help. School is waiting to report to come back. Let them know that you just keep asking for help. Don't give up asking on help. Bye, Panda. Keep asking for help. Don't give up on the help, and you got to let the teachers just know a little bit of what you're going through. If you guys are in TikTok and you want to ask any questions, hit my profile, jump over to the YouTube, and I can answer your questions there. Thank you, Kaden. I love it. I appreciate that. I don't want to say why I've got PTSD. That's okay. I mean, I got PTSD because I went through my dad's blood after he committed suicide. The smell of blood. My dad and mom said upset because making myself sick. Don't want to make them upset. A lot of times you got to realize too that parents and stuff aren't even upset at you. That it is a lot of times even a frustration. It is. You can actually, but the easiest way to ask me a question is to jump over onto TikTok, or onto YouTube. Excuse me. This is. Can you read my Joshua? That's why I'm doing the TikTok and the YouTube at the same time. That it's easier for me to answer the questions there. That's where I'm getting all these questions that I am answering is from there. 1 month clean. Way to go, Daisy. Congratulations. You got to remember though that parents, you don't make parents upset. A lot of times it's frustration. They want to get it out. It really made my day last week. I'm glad. I'm glad that I did. Glad that you started following me on TikTok. Awesome, Carolyn. Way to go, Daisy. Irvin, you leave the military and that's it. Bye bye. I get it. I get it, Lee. And that's one of the things. There's a lot of help that needs to be done with soldiers. There's a lot that has to be done with the VA afterwards. That's one of the things that frustrates me the most. And people don't really get that is like I don't bash the suicide hotline. I don't do any of that. It's meant to bring awareness. But when you have the Veterans Crisis Line and the suicide hotline combined, it's not doing our vets any good. Tips for past abuse still invades you. Lindsay, you got to get with therapy on it. You got to start going back and working through those experiences and finding the coping tools for it. Do you think it's easy? Do you think I'd find it easy if I said what I had? You might. You might, septic. It feels like school has had enough of me. They don't, believe me, and that's us getting to that point where we almost kind of want to give up. Well, it's not how to deal with depression. Dealing with depression, I default a lot to therapy, support, family, goals, passions. I don't know what to do though. I'm done. Random, believe me or not. And that's the thing. I don't mind when people do speak out and say that, hey, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to commit suicide. All this, it's over with. I'm done. Because you're not going to. I know that you're looking for connection. Finding connection is everything. And once you find the right connection, it makes a difference. Hey, Faye, support someone you care about recently and is massively struggling. Faye, the best thing you can do is being a friend. I mean, being a friend, listening to listen, realizing that you're not going to fix somebody. One of the things is if you have somebody struggling, you got to care about yourself. You got to care about them. Listen to listen. Don't listen to respond. You're not going to fix them. They're not broken. They're not damaged. You're none of that. Letting them start getting it out is huge. I don't know what to do. Dude, you're not done. What do you do in time of crisis? One of the things I do, you don't know, is reaching right out to family. That's the first and foremost biggest thing that I do. All the persons I trusted were helping me, broke the contact with me. Don't trust. Dude, trial and error, Lizzie. And you got to also remember, where are you at in life? Where are you at in life? I mean, people are always going to come and go. Have a good day. And thank you, Lee. You too. Bye, Kara. What should I do? I'm dating a boy, but my best friend gets jealous and has to ruin the relationship. I'm broken. Remember, it's more than a relationship, and don't let toxic people in. Sometimes you have to cut friends out. Hey, Judy, how are you? More people see scars on my ribs. Dude, your scars are your battle scars. My family don't understand it. Not always family will, but you know what? There's other people that will. And that's why it's finding support out there, and it's not always necessarily family. I'm the girl that texted you the other day, the ice cube trick, and I don't want to tell my mom about my cuts. I would tell your mom about your cuts, Autumn. I really would. Thanks for your advice. Absolutely. I give you all the advice and all the help I can in the world. I hope your day is going great. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate that. How do you manage to cope with the ones you lost? Time and support, Alfie. A lot of grieving. A lot of doing things to for them. I mean, my tattoo. There's different things that I do. I take time even just to remember them. And grief is an ever-going process. Absolutely, Caitlin. You have a beautiful, beautiful day. That was my day. Awesome, Daisy. I'm glad. You're amazing. Thank you forever. I appreciate that. The reason I have PTSD is one of my dad's friends hung himself and walked in on it. That's a lot. And Stephanie, that's where you really want to get into. What's up, Shelval? How are you, sweetie? You sent me a DM on Discord. Okay, I'll check it out. I've been touching in a little bit. I've been just massively overwhelmed. Septic, get with therapy on that. That's really the first step. Thank you. Hi, Ashley. How are you? Ask your questions away here, Ashley. So I don't like rope or knots. That's okay, Septic. That's definitely okay and understandable. Goodbye. Thank you. Absolutely, Olivia. Thank you for being in the lives. Thanks for being here. Great day, everyone. I love it. I love seeing the support in the lives. I love seeing the support. I mean, that's what it is. Hi, E. You guys haven't hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the like and subscribe button. It makes a difference. It's one of those things that helps me push forward. Sorry, my name is Abby. Hi, Abby. So different intergender, different names online. That's okay. Go. Just do you. Do you. Hi, Connor. How are you? How do you deal with self-harm thoughts? Finding out what the triggers are. Eric, how do I tell my friends what I think I could be pushing my problems onto them? Tell your friends that. Tell them that you want to share with them and you're afraid that you're going to push your problems onto them. Believe me, friends are going to tell you straight up how it fucking is. I do. I'm very blunt with my friends in some aspects. In some aspects, I'm not. The name of the accountancy family will say, okay, it makes sense. The Felicity maybe foundation to cover them. Foundation can help with the scars. Makeup can help with the scars. I mean, there's a lot, but it's realizing those are your motherfucking battle scars too. Hi, sir. I love you too. How do you word Discord and what is it? Devin, here's Discord. If you guys, if you're new, thank you so much, Justice. I appreciate that. There's a Discord. Discord was an app that was designed for gamers. Took it and spun it around and used the platform for peer-to-peer support. How do you know if you have ADHD? 5 months clean. Congratulations. The how do you know if you have ADHD is you got to get diagnosed with the doctor. That's one of the biggest ways to do it. And that's one of the reasons why I share so much even on YouTube, because I am diagnosed with ADHD. I was diagnosed originally with ADD, later on ADHD. And I'm very, very big into sharing about what I've been through, just hoping that it helps somebody. But you got to get with the doctor. You got to get with a therapist, because medication is huge when it comes to that. Thank you, Yasmin. You're amazing too. What's up, lame name? I stopped talking to my mom a few years ago because of different issues. She's trying to contact me, but I don't want to talk to her. Deal with it. Then continue not to talk to her, Carolyn. Do you? You got to remember that. I mean, do you? You're the most important person in the world, and you're going to do what you want to do. So do you? And it's not your right to hold on to the guilt. You don't have to. And hey, Eric, I sent you a DM on Discord. Could do your advice for a minute. Okay. VBDM. I got to get back to where I get responding to those. I am way, way, way behind on them. But I will get back to all the Discord DMs that I have. I wanted to do a live stream right now just to be able to throw out some support. I mean, it's one of those things that still drives me bonkers because I'm not responding really to text, and it drives me nuts. Like I feel like I'm letting people down. I'm feeling like I'm failing people. So it's like, at least I know if I do a live stream, I can help out as many people as I can. Hey, Beatrice. And so I'm gonna go do some chores around my house right now. I got to keep my house in order, and then I'm gonna go get to replying to. I do sort of, but I don't respond to that. There's somebody else actually helps respond to the Snapchats. But no, if you guys want to, I mean, you can DM me. Hey, Overdose, how are you? Anytime I see a new name in the YouTube live that I've never recognized before, I will stop it, because that's how important YouTube is for me and how much I truly appreciate the support. If you guys haven't hit the like and subscribe button, hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate the support on YouTube. I appreciate the support on TikTok. And I just want you guys to know that you matter. And I want you to know that it gets better. I want you to know to keep fighting forward and to not give up. And that's what it comes down to, is not giving up. Hey, from AZ, how are you? What's up, Alex? That abuse trying school events. How do I get them to stop? And family abuse, nice tries. You got to talk to the school about that. If you get the school aware of that, that can actually definitely help. But I'm going to end this live stream. I got to go and jump. Hi, Lucy. How are you? I got to go get some stuff done, but I appreciate you guys. I love you guys all. I love the support, and I want you just to know that you matter, that you can do it. Hi, Ken. It's so funny. Every time we get ready to leave, like there's a name that pops up in the chat that I don't recognize, and I literally am that grateful for people who check out the YouTube channel that I stop and I'm like, hi. You guys have an amazing day. I love you guys. You're awesome. And I truly, truly appreciate the support. If you guys are on TikTok and